Hey, everybody. Welcome to the program. Middays, Midlife in the Midwest, brought to you by Living Life in Style Travel. That's my travel agency. We have a group trip, the Signature One trip, coming up in June. Everybody is invited. I hope you all join us. It'll be a great time. We're going to be on the Navigator of the Seas by Royal Caribbean, sailing out of Los Angeles. And we are going to hit the Mexican Riviera. We are going to be going to Cabo, Mazatlan, and Puerto Vallarta. I love Puerto Vallarta. I cannot wait. Got a lot of people going already. I got a special pricing for interior cabins. If anybody wants to go, you can go for as little as $900 a person. If you want something other than an inside cabin, you can still go. You can still be part of the group, but there's no special pricing for the other than whatever the promotional rates are for that sailing. So that's the deal. I would love for you guys to join me. I will be setting up more group cruises, more group trips coming really soon. So, all right, that's the promo. That's the deal. All right, I decided so Matt's not going to be joining me today. I have a rant, and I need to let this go. I need to jump on this rant because this speaks to the heart of why I started this whole venture in the first place. I have to reply to that later. I started this. This idea originated. Going on 8 years now, 7 years now, 6, something like that, right? Of having this Living Life in Style brand, this business, and and building a community out of it. That's the goal. I got really tired of all the cancel culture shit that was going on. And it's dying out. Thank God it's dying out. But the cancel culture shit that was going on since like 2015 or so, I got so tired of it. You utter one word, you voice one opinion, and just excommunicated from your circle, from your friends, from social media platforms, from YouTube, from whoever. It was ridiculous. And I really felt like acquaintances, friends, family members, people I know, felt like I had to walk on eggshells no matter who I was around. The only person I felt like I didn't have to walk on eggshells around is my wife. That's ridiculous. That's never how it's been in this country. So that was part of the motivation for me setting up this company. So yesterday I found out I got defriended. Not blocked. So that's, it's a plus. I can still communicate with my friend on Messenger. Although, no more interactions with her on, on her posts or anything. Well, set the scene for you. Friend of mine, acquaintance, more of an acquaintance, person I worked with, almost 20 years ago, probably over 20 years ago at this point. No, right about 20 years ago. Person I worked with right about 20 years ago. I think she's a great person. She's always well-intentioned. She's always looking out for other people. And all those things. She's very accommodating. She will help whoever she will help any of her friends that she can, to the best extent of her abilities. I think she's a great person. We don't always see eye to eye on stuff. That's how it goes. So she defriended me because I made a comment on one of her posts. And I generally don't try to dive into politics on this show. Maybe not obviously to people who watch the show, but people who know me, they know I have very strong opinions on culture and politics. Those haven't changed. And me having that passion for that hasn't changed. I still, have a strong desire for I shouldn't say desire. I have a very little desire to want to talk about actual politics, but I have very strong opinions about how things should operate and should work. And I'm sure other people do, right? And that's all fine. I don't care. It doesn't mean we can't be friends. I got so tired of seeing posts from people who know me, people who claim that, they like me, claim that they, think I'm a decent human being. And then they'll make a post with this, broad brush. And this isn't what happened with my friend. I'll explain what happened to my friend in a minute. But people make these posts. Well, we're not Facebook friends anymore. But I still think of her as a friend, whether she thinks of me that way or not. I couldn't tell you. But people put these posts out with these broad generalizations of a group of people who are really only tied together by the loose string of who they voted for or who they supported or whatever. And then just get, you just paint us all with that brush. Even though you know me, even though I don't necessarily agree with all of it, we just get lumped in. There's no care in the language people use. There's no thought put forward. Everybody thinks they're gonna, they're dropping the hammer. They're what's the word I'm looking for? No, whatever. I can't think of the word I'm looking for. They're just they think that they really landed that gotcha punch, right? with absolutely no regard. And I'm guilty of this too. I'm not sitting here acting like I am some saint in this matter. I have childish behaviors as well. So let's not try to pretend like I don't think you're trying to pretend. Let's not let me try to pretend like I'm some saint in this matter, because I'm not. But at the end of the day, all right. So that I kind of feel is how the problem is. What the problem is this this attitude of arrogance towards people of differing opinions. So my friend posted a post. It talked about what's going on in our government today with the new administration, with the Department of Government Efficiency headed up by Elon. Those things, right? All of those things were what she was talking about. She was wondering, well, who voted for Elon? Nobody voted for Elon. Elon isn't the president. Elon's not this. Elon's not that. Nobody voted for Elon. Now, I was not trying to start an argument. I was not trying to get in a fight or insult anybody or anything else. I was just trying to provide a little bit of context to the questions she posed on her post, which Facebook is a public platform. When you say it there, you're in the public square. That's how it works. And the idea that that a person would unfriend me just because I tried to provide some answers to the questions that she asked. That's all. So, she wanted to know who was who voted for Elon. And my response to this was, look, this is what we voted for. The Department of Government Efficiency, Elon being in charge of it, was all part of the campaign, part of the platform, part of everything that Donald Trump ran on. And I know people think Donald Trump is the worst, most awfulest human being ever created on this planet, which is a completely irrational and absurd assertion, for starters. I won't even get into the comparisons that people just love to make with a particular 1930s German dictator, because that's just, pardon my French, but that's fucking stupid. Now, with that being said, what I replied to her was that nobody hid the ball on this. This was not a surprise to anybody. This is what we voted for. I'm not even a Donald Trump fan. I don't dislike him. I don't have this disdain for the man like a lot of people do. And if you do, perfectly fine. I completely get it. Don't even want to argue with you about it. He said awful things. He's done awful things. Now, I'm a Christian, so, I've got my own sins to fucking worry about. I ain't got time to worry about what Donald's got going on. That's between him and the maker, man. Not me. Not me. He professes to have converted and changed. Once again, not my job to judge. That's between him and the big guy upstairs, right? That's who that's with. But I should not. I mean, if you can't be friends with people because they voted for somebody else in an election, we're going to have a really hard time having a country, having a community. If it is that repugnant to you that people have other opinions and voted based on those other opinions, if that is that repugnant to you, we're going to have a hard time keeping a country. It's God's honest truth. Now, I see a lot of unity coming around. I mean, for God's sakes, Donald Trump was a Democrat for his entire life until maybe 4 years before he decided to run for president. RFK is a Democrat. Tulsi Gabbard is a Democrat. Elon Musk was a Democrat his whole life until this campaign. Joe Rogan was a Democrat. These are all people who have come together to support the common cause. Donald Trump passed more gun control legislation than Barack Obama. I hate gun legislation. I'm a 2A guy. I love the 2A. I'm not even a big gun guy, but I love the 2A because of what it stands for and what it means and why we have it. But I'm not going to just, even though Donald Trump made that gun legislation happen, doesn't mean I have to hate all the people who are happy about it. That's dumb. That's why I started my Living Life and Style brand. It's like, look, man, we're all just trying to get through the fucking day. I mean, literally, that's what we're trying to do. Just get through our day. I got I got my wife and kids. I've got mortgages and credit card payments, and inflation's going through the roof. Thank God I don't have to worry about eggs because I hate eggs. So I don't have to worry about eggs being expensive. So I got that going for me. But other than that, I mean, I got all of the same problems, all of the same concerns that everybody else in this middle class situation has. I have all of those things, just like you do. Now, I've looked at the situation and I have come to different conclusions than you. And apparently, more people agreed with my conclusions than the other side's conclusions. That's why they voted the way they did. It doesn't make them evil people. There are evil people on both sides, don't get me wrong. But those evil people, most of those evil people are not the people who did the voting. They're not your neighbor. They're not the guy who lives next door to you. They're not the person you go to work with. They're not your enemy. And I get so sick and tired of this cancel culture bullshit. I was in a conversation the other day. Some guy posts, okay, so look, here's, as I was building starting the company and building it out and doing the things, to try to expand my reach and send my message to more people. And because I don't care about this cancel culture shit, I have been sending friend requests and accepting friend requests based on certain parameters. But those parameters had nothing to do and still have nothing to do with your political beliefs because I don't care. I want to have people who I can be friends with. Do you like to travel? Do you like beaches? Do you like cruises? Do you like, the ocean? Then you're my people. I could give a shit who you voted for. If you like those things, I want you to hang out with me. I hope you want me to hang out with you. We can have a great time. But instead, we want to be divided over some stupid shit that's going on 2,000 miles away. We have really zero control over. Those people don't pay attention to us. That includes Trump and Elon. Chuck Schumer. I'd say Joe Biden, but he wasn't cognizant enough to give a crap about what he was doing, much less what everybody else thought. But you get the point. They don't care about us. It's up to me to care about my neighbor. It's up to me to care for my family. It's up to me for all of those things. But those people 2,000 miles away, they don't know what's going on here. They don't give a shit either. But instead, I can't build that bridge with somebody who won't talk to me. I can't build that bridge with people who are just, who are just like, the minute you post, you reply with a contradictory comment, the first things that come flying out of their mouth are personal insults. Are we children? Are we children? Because that's what, it's what it feels like. Feels like a bunch of kids. I mean, the only thing we're not doing is meeting behind the school to have a fist fight over stupid words that people said. I find it so frustrating. And I find it so discouraging. And it's fine. At the end of the day, it is what it is. As I mull it over, I mean, you either want to be a part of the solution, or you want to be part of the problem. It's that simple. Blocking people and unfriending people just because they disagree with you. Now, I'm not even saying I don't block people. I block people. If you're one of them sumbitches who comes out and all you want to do is insult somebody, call them stupid, not address the actual argument at hand, and all you want to be is verbally abusive, yeah, I block you. There's nothing to glean. There's nothing to gain from that. So I was on a post yesterday. A guy posted some crazy ass link, made some crazy ass comment about, at least crazy ass to me, right? I read it. I pay attention. I watch, I read. I read what he posted. And from the best that I could tell, it was complete horse crap. That's fine. I post horse crap sometimes too. But I made a comment. that it wasn't true. And he replied and he said, well, why don't you come with some links and some evidence? So I did. And his reply was, that's all fake. Here, check out my Google search. Okay, look, dude. A Google search is not research. And any kind of corporate lead or corporate media doesn't mean they don't have good value in it, but it is also not an unbiased source. There's not any corporate media. There's not any media, period. It's like me trying to act like I'm an unbiased source. Bullshit. I have opinions. I am a human. What's important is being able to see what the facts are and be able to have enough intelligence to critically read through the crap and find out what's true. Utilizing multiple sources. Anyway, so this guy sends me a Google search and he thinks he's just completely, proven me wrong. Whoo, whatever. I don't care. But at the end of the day, some other douchebag comes onto the thread, and all he wants to do is just, tell me how smart he is without giving me any sort of, sources, links, evidence. Just tells me all my sources are garbage, even though he didn't read, look at, view the videos of the sources, didn't even know who the sources were. He thought the source was YouTube. He thought the source was Facebook. You're an idiot. Those are platforms. You obviously don't know what you're talking about. And so frustrating. But all that douchebag wanted to do was come at me with insults. This is not productive to anybody. And this shit has to end if we're going to continue as a country, in our own little communities, in our states, all of that stuff. It has to end. We got to get over this shit. We didn't have this problem when people voted for Reagan over Carter or Reagan over Mondale. Of course, nobody voted for Mondale except the people in Minnesota, but that's a different topic for a different time. Nobody got mad at their neighbor because my big brother in my fraternity was the biggest Bill Clinton sycophant I've ever met. He loved him some Bill Clinton. Thought Bill Clinton was the greatest guy ever. I thought Bill Clinton was a corrupt womanizer, but whatever. I don't even think that his presidency was all that bad, especially compared to shit I've seen in the last 15 years. But at the end of the day, me and my big brother in my fraternity, we were still great friends. I guess we couldn't do that anymore. Hey, here's a neat little feature. How's this work? Oh, that's how that works. Okay. We might do that later when we start getting more people who want to comment. I'll put the comments up on the side of the screen and then you guys can look at them and reply to each other. That would be cool. Anyway, so it really does, kind of saddens me that my friend unfriended me and doesn't want me to participate in her discussions anymore. I feel like I'm a person who gives as good as he gets. I'd always try to be polite and respectful when I start the conversation. And if people come at me in a rude and disrespectful way, well, then I'm going to come right back at you in a rude and disrespectful way. But if you want to have an intelligent conversation, you want to have a polite conversation, I'm always here to do that. Always. Post on my stuff. Especially if you disagree, it makes the conversations more interesting. Gives us something to talk about. It's much easier than everybody who just comes on and says, yeah, man, I agree. Like, okay, thanks. I'm glad you agree. You could have just hit the like button. That would have been fine. I knew you agreed because you liked it. So I'm tired of this shit. That's why I created the whole Living Life and Style social group. That's why, that's why I am setting up these group trips so that people can come together. We can see that we enjoy the same things and that those things that are happening 2,000 miles away, and that while they will have effects on our lives, it's not near the effect that you're going to have on your neighbor, on your kids, on your family. That's where we should be focusing our energies. That's what we should be, trying to improve. Why aren't we trying to improve our communities to hell and tell all the people 2,000 miles away to go kiss our ass? I don't want your help. I don't need your help. I need to help my neighbor. I need to help my community. I need to help my own little city here. I don't have time to worry about what you think. I just need you to leave us alone. That's all. So we as a community can build strong bonds and build good ties with one another. I mean, that's really, really the thing I'm hoping to achieve. So as we move forward, I've got my one group cruise that's going on now. I'm working on another group trip, probably for around New Year's Eve. Got some friends. It's probably going to be an adults only thing. Got some friends. We've been looking at a few cruises, although those look a little expensive, so we may not do that. Holiday cruises are ridiculously expensive, but they sell out every time. I would love to go on a New Year's cruise on Virgin, but those prices were high. So it may end up being an all-inclusive resort. It may be just a resort here in the United States. They don't have all-inclusives in the United States. God, I wish they did, but they don't. So it might just be a regular resort here in the States, some cool location where it would be great to celebrate the new year. And I hope, and I just, you know what? It should also be known that the two friends, they are sweethearts. And those two friends have differing political views than me. And we don't care. We want to go have a good time. We don't have to argue about those things. But if they had questions about why I feel the way I do, I would hope that they would be able to have those conversations with me. And by the time we're done, they don't hate me. I don't think that's too big of an ask. I really don't. So, like I said, I've got more events coming out. I really hope to have a lot of them rolling out in the near future. They're not just all going to be trips. I'm going to do stuff here locally in the Kansas City area too, and I hope a bunch of people join me. I hope you guys come out. I hope you have, whether we do something. I kind of played around with this idea last summer and last spring, and it started out okay. And I want to get back to it, but I couldn't keep it up going into the fall and everything else with school, and I don't know, just things came up and it kind of fell away. But I'd like to get back to it and having gatherings where people are getting together and we're just having a good time, where that you can come there and there's going to be people that there's going to be people that you can hang out with, and help get you out of your bubble. As we've all grown up and we've all had families, we all have our friend circle. Bring your whole damn friend circle. I want to meet more people. I want to make more friends. We used to make friends because we were in proximity with each other all the time. And some people weren't your friends at school. Some people were your friends. But it's the proximity, and it's because you're around those people on a regular basis. That's how you develop those friendships. And so I want to help create an opportunity to generate proximity for people so they can be around people and get and help grow their social circle. I think it's very important. Humans are social creatures. I think it's very important that we promote that in a positive way. That's that's the whole impetus. It's the whole motivation behind what I'm doing. I really think we need to come together again as Americans, and I think that's really the only tie that I'm really interested in. Are you an American? Do you love your country? Yeah, cool. Because me too. I had a real hard time with that for a long time because I did reading, I did research, I learned about things. I learned things happened that weren't good. I learned that things that happened were actually bad. I learned that we did awful things as a country in many different circumstances. And for a long time, I had to work to kind of rationalize that in my head. But I've come around after these last 8 years. I've really come around to regaining my passion for the country. Here recently, you start to. I mean, it's kind of a topic for a different discussion. It really isn't about what we're talking about today, but it has been a long time since I've really wanted to. It's like I've just for the longest time wanted to just kind of crawl under my rock and just let the world go by. But I'm no longer there. I want to help. I want to work to build community amongst people, friendships amongst people, help build relationships, and help build bridges from all this stupid shit that has happened over the last 8 years that has helped to create such a divided world that we live in. That's it. That's what I want to do. That's what I'm trying to do. That's why I have this this live stream, this podcast. I'm in the Midwest. I'm in my midlife. It is the middle of the day, and these are the kind of thoughts and ideas that really really drive what I want to do in the world. And if there's anybody out there who would like to help in that effort, I would really love to have you join me. Have you join me on these live streams? Have you join me arranging and setting up group trips, group events around town, things for people to do? I would love to have help from anybody who sees value in this effort. That's what I'd like. If it comes, great. If it doesn't, well, I'll do it by myself. It's hard to build a community as one person. But I got to start somewhere. And I figure it starts with me. I can always sit back and just watch everybody else and hope that somebody else wants to do it. But something like this has to happen at the ground level. And I don't know that you can get much more ground level than me. I'm just a middle-class dude from, Kansas City suburbs, who would like to get to know his neighbors and make some friends and, get to know his community better. And it's been really weird feeling like it's always a risk to reach out, and one of the reasons why it feels so scary and such a risk to reach out like that is because of things like what happened yesterday. Just makes you want to, all right, well, fine. I'll just keep it all to myself. Maybe I shouldn't talk to anybody about it. Maybe I shouldn't, try to help somebody else understand where I'm coming from. Instead, maybe I should just let them continue to think I'm a horrible person. And the response might be, well, I don't think you're a horrible person, but your posts say otherwise. Like, you may say you don't think I'm a horrible person to my face, but then I turn around and I look at the stuff you post on social media and sure sounds like you hate me. It's the same stuff that got me to go, stop watching movies. I can't stand any of the actors because of all the shit that they say in their promo tours. And they basically, the things they say are like, no, I hate people like you. Like, okay, well, makes it really hard for me to want to sit in a theater and watch your face on a giant fucking screen for 2 hours. So I don't. It's taken a lot of joy out of the world. It really has. It's taken a lot of joy out of the world. It's taken a lot of the fun out of the things that I used to enjoy. It's infected everything from video games to sports to movies to television shows to personal friendships to companies and businesses. I can't think of anything that's been more detrimental to society than this cancel culture, whatever it is. I mean, cancel culture, I don't even like using that term because I don't think that encompasses what I'm talking about. But at the end of the day, that basic idea has been more damaging to this country than just about anything I can think of in U.S. history. Not okay, short of the slavery and the Civil War. That was worse. I'm not even probably. It was worse. But this is bad. This is bad, what's going on right now. We have to fix it. We have to come together, and we don't have to come together over the politics of stuff. That's not what we come together over. We come together over community. We come together over families. We come together over sports and movies. We come together over all of that stuff. And at the end of the day, that's what I want. And that's what I'm going to work for. So that about sums it up. I've kind of beat this one to death at this point in time. Normally I come with other stuff to talk about, things that are more, travel related, or, me and Matt shooting the shit. But I had to get this off my chest. This has come to me. This has happened to me more than once, and it's disappointing each time. But it's the world we live in. So all we can do is work one at a time to make it a better place. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to work one at a time. If obviously it's starting on my own, but I'm going to work one at a time to build bridges and to make friends and to grow this community, because that's it's important to me. The travel is just part of it's a means to an end. The events are just a means to an end. Hell, the podcast, this live stream is a means to an end, and we're going to make it happen. It may take a while. It's one of those things like bankruptcy, suddenly and then all at once. Hopefully I don't go bankrupt doing this. We'll see. I don't think so. I think things are going to go just fine. I think I'm positive with the outlook. I think things are moving forward in a good way. All right. I'm going to wrap this up. I really appreciate anybody who tuned in, took the time to listen to me rant. And I'll be back tomorrow with more. And yeah, man, be blessed. Have a wonderful day. Put a smile on your face. Put a smile on someone else's face. Make someone feel welcome today. just, wherever you're at, welcome in your presence. Make them feel welcome in your presence. And yeah, have a wonderful day. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Please check out my website, livingLifeandStyle.com. Come to the Facebook page at facebook.com/livingLifeandStyle. You can call me, 816-744-1405. You can text me at that same number. Emails eric@livingLifeandStyle.com. Please like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell, all of those good things. And yeah, let's get started on working together and take a minute to just kind of disregard the points that the things, the opinions that you don't like about a person, and start finding a little more of what you do like about a person. Look, man, not everybody is going to be your friend. That's true. There are differences that cannot be overcome. But I think most of this shit that's going on in this country, I think it can be overcome, and we're going to work at it. I'm Eric. This is Middays, Midlife in the Midwest. And I hope you guys have a wonderful day. We'll talk again tomorrow.